Hey everyone, Dr. Steph Voss here, chiropractor based out of Grand Marais, Minnesota, and I've got your back. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how to work out tension in your forearms and do a sweet little hand massage. So forearms, both sort of the front and the inside, sort of the back and the inside, both can be tight. We have a big group of muscles that attach out here and a bunch of muscles that attach here, and kind of the meat of those muscles is right in the forearm. Higher up, not so much lower down, kind of the top half. So my favorite method for working out these muscles that you can do along with me is called pin and stretch. So we're gonna start with this inside of the arm. Bring your hand closer to your shoulder, so folding your wrist. That's gonna shorten those muscles. Then we pin down with a good grip on the thumb. Real nice onto the, you know it's a good spot if you're like, ooh, that's a little tender. So I'm looking for a tender spot, I've got one there. And then I'm gonna lengthen out my arm. So move my hand as far away as I can, reach those fingertips down. And I can do that a couple times. Now we're gonna shorten it, move to another spot, pin that muscle down, and then stretch out the muscle under that grip. So pin and stretch. And you can move your thumb every time you want to shorten it, pin it, lengthen out the muscle. Shorten, pin, lengthen out the muscle. We can do the exact same thing on the back. And here I like to use my fingertips instead of my thumb, but we're going to do the same thing. We're going to shorten the muscle. So with my arm facing up, the fingers come back towards my nose. And then I'm going to use a good grip all across here. You can see where these muscles are. Pin, stretch, shorten, pin, stretch. Ooh, I got a good one here. Shorten, pin, stretch. And you can play around with this. I'm finding myself really using these, my first two fingers, looking for those tight spots. Shorten it, pin it, stretch it out. So you have the freedom to be a little creative here. Go looking for the tight spots. It might be a little bit further around back towards this back line, your ulna. Ooh. Oh yeah. Whether you work with your hands a lot, doing gardening, biking, racing handlebars, maybe you're doing body work and your hands are your jaw. There are lots of ways that these muscles can get a little bit tight. Often it's just because we rarely do this. We rarely massage these muscles. I'm working my way a little bit down towards the middle of my arm again. So somewhere between elbow and mid arm. Shorten, squeeze, stretch. Let's go to the other side. So I'm going to start on the inside, my other arm now. And again, remember, the meat of these muscles is kind of in this top half of the arm. So I'm just going to shorten and go hunting. Ooh, I found some good spots. Shorten, pin, stretch. So yeah, there are all kinds of reasons that these muscles get a little tight. And the reason why this can feel a little sensational is because, like I was saying, they're muscles that don't get worked a lot or don't get a lot of attention, a lot of repair. When was the last time you gave your forearms a little massage, right? So, but this can help folks that have wrist issues, these muscles being too tight or just not having as much range as they can lead to some of that. Ooh. I'm working on my right arm now and I'm finding it's a lot more tender than my left, which is pretty common to use our limbs asymmetrically. One hand is more dominant, one leg is more dominant. There's nothing too precious about this. You're just playing around, looking for tight spots. All right, then we're gonna flip over. So now my palm is down and I'm gonna flip my other hand. So kind of my first two fingers. And again, you can see a little bit that this kind of here to here is where the most of the muscle belly is, and it's kind of on the top line of the arm there. So I'm gonna shorten, so pull my knuckles back towards my elbow, pin, stretch. And there's a whole bunch of muscles here. They kind of all in these long strings keep pinning and stretching, coming off of the outside of our elbow, going different places. So you don't have to worry too much about which one exactly you're on. Just find the spots that feel a little tender. Tried using my thumb, but I kind of ran out of room, so I'm going to stick with these first two fingers. So again, I know it looks like I'm moving my wrist around a lot, and I am because I'm lengthening those muscles, but I always squeeze. I shorten, then we squeeze, then we stretch. Shorten, squeeze, stretch. And so we're pinning down that muscle under our grip as we lengthen. All right, it's pretty good. Now, little bonus, hand massage, you're gonna need a pen. So just any simple pen will do. And I'm gonna roll primarily around the heel of my hand and a little bit around my thumb. And you kind of get two hand massage in one, but I'm gonna use the pen and roll back and forth. And so I'm kind of using my whole right hand and being really specific, kind of targeting on my left hand here, around the back of the thumb, the base of the thumb, really going for this big meaty part, the base of the thumb, over across the heel of the hand. And it's just so simple. You could even do this at your desk. Then we'll switch hands. So laying the pen down, and again, kind of focusing on the areas where my hands get a little tender, a little tired, maybe yours do too. And again, just being curious. There's no, clearly this is a fairly imprecise art. Just trying to find the spots that as you roll over them, it's like, ooh, that feels pretty good. And even though, you know, my left hand is also getting a little massage as my right hand is kind of the main focus, I am trying to really target one hand at a time so that I'm paying attention to what feels good, what do I need more of, where should I spend a little bit more time? And by that I mean what's tender, which is a great bit of information when you're doing a little bit of feedback. You know, if I were doing a hand massage on one of my patients, I can't always tell what feels really good for them. And so it's nice to, when you're working on yourself, to be able to follow the lead. So I switch back to my left hand here just a little bit, but I think that's all we're gonna do. So handy pen, anything you've got laying around, pencil, sitting at your desk, wherever you are. So thanks so much for taking good care of yourself today, opening up your arms, taking care of your hands. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, you can find lots more of these videos on YouTube or on my website, drstephvos.com, drstephvos.com. And yeah, reach out with an email, book an appointment. Remember, bodies are meant to be enjoyed. See you soon.